All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. It's hard to believe that these are the same Denver Broncos from 2 months ago. In mid-October, the Broncos were 1-5 and they were reeling, which included them losing 70-20 at the hands of the Miami Dolphins. But since then, Denver has caught fire as they've won 6 out of their last 7 to get over 500 for the first time this season, and in the process, they have climbed right back into the playoff picture in the AFC. You think about it, the previously much maligned Broncos defense. What a 180 that has been. They have gotten so stingy over their last 8 games. There's only the Buffalo Bills and Houston, Texas have been able to score more than 20 points against them. We saw this team beat up on Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert today. He exited the contest with a fractured finger. And then, the Broncos just really honed in as they dominated for the 24-7 win. Offensively, we are seeing a much more comfortable and confident Russell Wilson this season in comparison to last year's. He and head coach Sean Payton are on the same page. And I say this because, and I was critical of Russell Wilson last year and early on this year. Russell Wilson looked like a deer in headlights last year for the Denver Broncos, and it looked like a great heist as far as a trade that the Seattle Seahawks made with Denver. But nonetheless, Russell Wilson is getting better coaching this year. I think Sean Payton has taken the time to see what works for Russell Wilson and what doesn't work for Russell Wilson. And more importantly, Russell has his confidence back. And I don't care who you are. You can't be out there. And I've never been a pro athlete. Okay. But at the end of the day, you still can't be a pro athlete out there and not have your confidence, not have your swag. Russ has it back. And more importantly, this team around him believes in their quarterback once again. And it's not just about Russell Wilson. Sean Payton has gotten on the same page with everybody in order to turn things around. He never gave up on this team. This team never gave up on him. They've bought into what he is selling. And it takes time to go out there and try to change a culture for an organization. But winning is infectious, just like losing is. And the Broncos, have done their fair share of losing over the past couple of years. And it's a hard cry to what they've been. And I say this because, Denver is they're finally in line to have their first winning season since 2016, which was a year after their last playoff appearance, a year after their last Super Bowl championship. But nonetheless, the folks that follow the Broncos in the Rocky Mountain region, they're accustomed to winning. The Broncos have been one of the bigger winners and better winners in the National Football League for over the last 40 years. And, Denver has really gotten down on their luck in the last couple of years. And this is why the Walton family that owns the Broncos brought in Sean Payton to right these wrongs. And he's doing it right now. This team, again, I can't say enough how they've bought into what he's gone out there and sold. And you look at this rally that the Broncos have been on, and it started back in week number 4 with their comeback win over the Chicago Bears, and that was a gut check moment because that was right on the heels of Denver losing 70-20 to Miami, and we were like, "What is Sean Payton doing? He's just there collecting a check." Russell Wilson looks even worse than he did last year. And in that contest, the Broncos found themselves down late and they had to rally on the road to beat the Chicago Bears. Lost the following week at home to the Jets. Showed some fight in their loss against the Kansas City Chiefs. But ever since then, they have really dialed in and brought it, especially defensively. And I think coming out of that bye, getting that road win against the Buffalo Bills on Monday night was huge, obviously for both teams, because after that contest, Buffalo fired their offensive coordinator, Ken Dorsey, but nonetheless, they've kept it going. It hasn't been pretty at times for the Denver Broncos, but like I always say, anybody will take an ugly loss or an ugly win rather over a pretty loss any day. So you look at this Denver team, and the question is going to be, can they keep it going in order to find a way to do the improbable and make the playoffs after their 1-5 start. Denver has a chance. It's not going to be easy, but they do have a chance. They're at Detroit this Saturday night, and the Lions are going to be looking to get back on track after they lost to the Chicago Bears today. Denver's got two more home games. They got New England and they got the Chargers, two winnable games, and then they're on the road to take on the Raiders. Denver has more than a puncher's chance to get this done because you look at it, they're now a part of that logjam at 7-6 in the AFC. You've got Pittsburgh, you've got Indianapolis, you've got Houston, you've got Cincinnati, you've got Buffalo, and then you have Denver. Now, Denver does get the tiebreaker over Buffalo right now, which is big, but then they lose the tiebreaker to Houston. The best way for you to get in there, you got to go out there and win and take care of your business. Yes, there's a logjam right now in the wild card race in the AFC, but obviously and clearly, this thing is going to play itself out and it's going to figure itself out over the final 4 weeks of the season. But at the end of the day, you've got to be in it to win it. The Broncos have now given themselves an opportunity, and they're playing very loose and they're playing very confident and they're flying to the football defensively. And when you fly to the football defensively, you're going to give your teammates an opportunity to win. Denver had an opportunity to win last week against the Houston Texans. The Texans were a little bit better. And then, of course, the three interceptions by Russell Wilson didn't help. I'm not going to hold him to that because, again, he himself has been playing better. But nonetheless, I think the Broncos definitely have a puncher's chance to make the postseason. Sean Payton is pulling it off once again. And more importantly, he's showing that, you know what, it just wasn't Drew Brees for all of that success with the New Orleans Saints. The Broncos have done a complete 180 in this season. And I really, really like their chances to keep it going as they try to get to the postseason. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you haven't already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on the X, formerly known as Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. Now you can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I am signing off. And I'm saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.